Hey, internet. So I'm kind of doing something different in this video. This is the first time I've done something like this, so it's probably going to be a little bit janky if I'm being honest, but I had this really cool idea where I would kind of like walk you through the entire process from start to finish of me designing a kit. In this example, I'm using my most recent kit in my shop, the Fries Before Guys kit. It's kind of like an anti-Valentine's Day homage, if you will. But I'm basically going to take you through like from sketching out on a little notepad to sketching it out in Photoshop to bringing it into Illustrator to bringing it into Silhouette Studio, printing, cutting, bam. I think the only thing I didn't touch on was like mock-up images, but I do that in Photoshop. I do want to do more of these in the future, so if you're super interested in how this video turned out, like let me know. I will definitely try to record some of them, and I will hopefully get better at actually like recording myself doing things because I'm only really used to doing things from like above head, big white background sitting there versus like this is me like actually at my desk. So here we go. I know a lot of artists more recently use like iPads to draw. Personally, okay, so first of all, I've never owned an Apple product in my entire life, and I will eventually be forced to buy an iPad because of the Photoshop and Illustrator support, but for kit design, personally, I prefer to draw in Photoshop on my Wacom tablet that I've had since like, oh my god, probably like 2006. This thing is a beast and it's ancient and I love it to death. I know a lot of people prefer like seeing the screen that they're working on, but not for me. So here I have Photoshop open. I've got my little notebook with my little pencil drawing. They're just really basic sketches on my notebook over there. And I'm bringing them into Photoshop and ensuring that they are in like the correct dimensions for full boxes. So I have a guide that pretty much gives me like 1.5 by 1.9 boxes to make sure that the stuff that I'm drawing is going to fit appropriately, because like the last thing I want to do is draw something and then have the ratios be wrong and it doesn't look like thematically correct, you know what I mean? So we're doing that here, and then once I'm done with that, just very basic outlines, I'll make some notes about certain colors that I want. I'll then bring it into Illustrator, which you'll see now actually. Wow, I timed that voiceover perfectly. So I use Illustrator to do all of my art, and I actually do it like with my mouse about 70% of the time. If I'm drawing like a really fluid shape, something that's like really difficult to achieve kind of geometrically, I will still use that Wacom tablet and I'll use the little pencil tool in Illustrator. But for the most part, you'll see here that I generally work with lines, and then once I have the base lines down, I'll go in and refine those so that I'll like round some corners, add some curves, make it look more organic than just a bunch of like randomly drawn rectangles. I'll also go in and adjust the colors. You'll see me around here, I think, adding some different yellows to the color palette. I definitely bring in a picture of some french fries at some point. I think that's coming up. Yeah, there we go. There's the french fries. When in doubt, go to Google Images. Go find out what colors you actually need, because eyeballing it and picking it with a color picker, man, that is just a waste of time. So I'm coming in here, I'm getting, some different shapes, some different brownness, some doneness of the fries. If you can't tell, these are supposed to be french fries. And I'm going in and like curving them up, just adding like, so they're not all identical. And I feel like a good benefit of Illustrator is that like I have a lot of concepts, but honestly, like I'm not the best person when it comes to actually drawing things, and geometry is geometry. There's no way to fake that. Illustrator is literally just all little vector points that you can edit by hand. So if I can't draw a perfect circle, I can certainly make one in Illustrator. Here I am making a nice little gingham background. I don't know if it's gingham or it's like buffalo plaid, but it's like pink. Kind of like a picnic table background for this full box. I just thought that it would be really, really cute to incorporate that into the spread. And it is kind of a Valentine's Day spread, so you gotta do what you gotta do. I changed the outline on the french fries to a kind of like golden color instead of black to make it less harsh. And here is, like I mentioned, where I bring in the tablet pen to kind of draw something more organic. I wanted a little ketchup inspired before, so that's what we're doing here. I'm changing the colors, getting those right, because like ketchup's a weird color, man. And then going in and just manually tweaking the points, which is a benefit of Illustrator to make it flow a little bit better within the full box. I wanted the kind of lines to be flowing in and out of the box. You'll notice that I actually have a red line and a gray line on the full boxes. The red line is that 1.5 by 1.9 and the gray line is my bleed. So you'll notice a lot of sticker kits have you know, you'll pull up the sticker and there will be just a little bit of extra around the box. That is so that if your silhouette cuts off just the ittiest bittiest bit off, you know, you're not sitting there with a bunch of white outline on the sticker. There's a little bit of give, because these are hobby machines and the tolerancing on them is not perfect, nor is any like commercial machine really either. But here we go. I forgot to screen record for the majority of these boxes, so this is what I say. I'll be better about it next round. I kind of forgot that I was making this video, and then I did like all these full boxes, and I just, man. So here I am working on the You're a Snack full box. I've pulled in a font instead of hand drawing it for this one, doodled up a quick little chip bag, and like you probably saw, it's literally just a rectangle, went in and rounded up the corners, went in and added the little frilly bag bit at the top, and that's, you know, that's what the amazing thing about Illustrator is. As long as you recognize that drawing is just making a bunch of shapes, anyone can draw. Like, go ahead and try it. And then I'm filling in with a bunch of little blobby potato chips in the background. Once again, I do have my little tablet pen out, and I'm drawing these kind of like organic looking blob type shapes. Fiddling with the colors, I'm using that nice little like toasted line work instead of a harsh black line, because I like things in the foreground to be the focal point, and the things in the foreground tend to have darker outlines. Now we're moving on to that last full box, which honestly stumped me for a little while. I wasn't sure what I was going to do with it, but I decided on a little ketchup bottle. So I just worked some little symmetrical magic here. I'm adding in a little bottle cap. I did some tomfoolery for the label. I love Illustrator, man. I cannot draw a ketchup. You ask me to draw a ketchup bottle like on a piece of paper, I don't think I could. But like I said, I add a circle. Now it's a circle with a line on it, and man, it's just, I love it. So it's really funny. I was trying to think about something really sassy to say for this ketchup bottle for like a really long time. This stumped me the most. Like, cooler than ranch, that just came off the tip of the tongue. It was super easy. You'll see here, like I said, it's just shapes on shapes. I'm combining the shapes. It's, man, I love Illustrator. So from here, you'll have to forgive me because I thought I was recording Silhouette Studio while I was designing the kit last night, but it turns out I was recording my second monitor, which had nothing on it. Because, yeah, this is, like I said, the first time I've done this. So basically from there, I pull in all of the clip art from Illustrator. I place it all into full boxes. Now for me, it's really only the 8 full boxes and the bottom washi, which happen to just be a pattern. I go and set the coordinating colors for the functional boxes and all that other stuff. I've got little like glitter packs for glitter headers, so I make sure that that's color matched exactly. From there, the only thing left to do is to print and make sure that everything looks good once it's print and cut. Sometimes you miss things, you know, sometimes you double print a pattern or something in Sil Studio. There's a lot of basic stuff that you could be missing, especially when you're me designing a kit at like 2 a.m. because you had an idea and are choosing to do work instead of sleep. So I just have the kit cutting on 2 of my cameos right there. Got a little Mabel machine on the bottom, got my Winnie machine on the top. They're both pretty good to me. And once the kit is done and printed, that's good to be listed in the shop. From there, I'll just do listing photos in Photoshop, get that all uploaded up into my Shopify, and post some things to social media to let everyone know that you can go ahead and buy my art if you feel so compelled. So, like I said, this didn't exactly go as smoothly as I hoped it would, but for my first attempt at making a video like this, it's not like the worst thing I've ever seen in my entire life. If you would like to be walked through me making any other kits in the future, definitely let me know, and I will definitely try to do a better job of remembering to record myself working on things. And if you have any other questions or any other tutorials that you think you would like to see, feel free to leave a comment below as well, and I will add it to the list. Other than that, I'm just going to keep working on stickers, because that's what I do. So, yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video. That's it. Later.